Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, it was media day at training camp. What does that mean? Nothing. Nothing but a bunch of good pictures that came out of training camp today. Training camp right now is going to be a waste for at least another couple of weeks until they can kind of get out of the OTA mindset and hopefully get into the pads within the next 2 weeks. So not even going to get into that. Not even worth getting into that. What I did want to talk about briefly is college football. College football potentially is going to be losing some divisions or they're going to be losing some conferences, I should say, that may opt out of the season, which potentially could put the season in jeopardy. Not a terrible thing for the NFL, honestly, if college football doesn't play, because if you think about it, after October on, there's going to be no other sports. I mean, NFL could literally dominate the landscape even more than it already does. And the possibility of even switching games to different days for networks is phenomenal. And we're not going to have stands in the fans anyway. I mean, so literally, if college football leaves, the NFL could potentially be more popular than it ever was before, because it would literally be the only game in town. There would be no competition whatsoever for like 2 months, which would be, I mean, you wouldn't have hockey, you wouldn't have basketball. I mean, it would be great. I mean, well, it would be great for the NFL. It's not great for college football because I'm a college football fan, but I'm not concerned about conferences opting out. I'm not concerned about potentially having the college football season canceled, because honestly, college football does not generate the revenue that the NFL does. It does, the college football schools do generate revenue, but not the billions of dollars the NFL does. These individual conferences never would do that. So the NFL has more opportunity for COVID tests, more money for more COVID testing, more COVID procedures, private charter flights. They're not living in dorms. There's like some college football also has potential to not have kids on campus. So you know what? It's neither here nor there. Let's just hope the season rolls forward, and if it does, I was kind of thinking about it yesterday, and it's kind of going to be how the offense rolls along is really going to be in reference to the offensive line. I said that before. That is the stupidest statement I ever say, but it's true. Your offensive line is the key to your entire offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, you can't open the polls of your running back, you're not going anywhere. So it was, in my mind, we need to look at the maturation of Andrew Thomas into the left tackle position. He was basically, of course, given the position because of Nate Solder opting out. And I find it interesting now that we are going to have a rookie left tackle protecting Daniel Jones. In some regards, that is not the most beneficial situation you want to put this young man in. Now, I've seen some videos and I've seen some posts saying that people are concerned about Andrew Thomas being demoralized if he has a bad couple weeks or a bad couple games. They're worried that him taking over for the left tackle position for Nate Solder may damage his career because he will not have the mental fortitude to stand up to the slings and the arrows. Sorry, I was about to quote Shakespeare there, but I'm going to back away. But you know what? I think that's just nonsense. Anything in the NFL and anything when you play at a major college or a major university, you need to have the ability to forget quickly. And I think, Andrew Thomas, from what I've seen and what I've read and people I've talked to, say that he is a guy that can literally turn it on, turn it off, and not sit there and be like, oh, well, that happened, this happened. Which is great, that he has the mental fortitude to not, I'm not going to say not care, but he has the ability to turn it off and not worry about what's going on around him, which was one of the reasons why he was perfect for New York. That and the fact that this guy is just playing nasty in the line. I mean, he to me, I've said it before, he's like a fire hydrant. He's not going anywhere. He has the ability to sit on power rushers and he just kind of gobbles them up. He gobbles up that high momentum that come in with those power rushers. Now, of course, that's at the college level, but I'm saying he can do that. He can also latch on to the speed guys, or even when they try to counter to the inside. He has great recovery. He can recover his position quickly because he's got what they refer to as active hips. So you know what? He takes the proper angles. He has all the explosiveness. He is a hog molly. Basically, you know what he's like? He's like a cannonball. As soon as when he hears a snap count and he goes, he's like a cannonball off the line. He is going to be a fan. I personally think, and I've said it all along, he is going to be a fantastic pro in college. And again, this is always in college because we have to see how that plays into the pros. If you ever watch the games, when he grips onto somebody with his upper body strength, that grip rarely got broken, and he could just toss opponents around like rag dolls. I mean, it's just amazing how he locks out his elbows and his wrists. I mean, like I said, I am more than enamored with Andrew Thomas. I think that he's got all the necessary attributes. Now, he's not the quickest guy off the block. That's gonna be the one thing I say about him. He is not the quickest guy off the block, but that's all right. That is something that can. And now, of course, foot speed cannot be taught, but foot placement can be taught. So he'll learn how to use and position his feet on the blocking. He will learn. They will coach him up, and I am giving all the confidence in the world to Joe Judge to coach this man up, to coach this kid up. I really think that he can, Joe Judge and the rest of the offensive staff are going to work with him. And like I said, his quickness to me is his only deficiency. Like I said, his quickness and his footwork. But his footwork, like I said, can be worked on. I mean, the dude was a 3-year starter at left tackle for Georgia. I mean, that should say enough as it is. And like I said, he was more than a hog molly. He was a guy that has power throughout his frame. He executes with good leverage. He executes with good leverage. I can't talk tonight. And he knows how to use his body. He is going to be an anchor on the line. And I do not think, like I said, his mental fortitude should ever be questioned, because I think that he's going to be fine. Like I said, he's got an extremely high football IQ, because look where he comes from. Now, my only concern is the fact that it's going to be the rest of the line around him. I get concerned because of Will Hernandez, the left guard. I think a lot of Nate Solder's issues were because of Will Hernandez, and I've said this before. Like I said, when we watch things, we do not see what's on the field. We do not see the blocking assignments that were missed. We do not see the audibles are called that may or may not have been heard. We do not see that. And I find it interesting that Nate Solder had a horrid second season with the Giants, and it coincided with Will Hernandez dropping. His play dropped. And I find that very interesting, because Will Hernandez had a good rookie season. He didn't have a great rookie season. He had a good rookie season, but he had a regression in year 2, which seemed to lead to a regression with Nate Solder. So my question is Hernandez is outside of Zeidler is really the elder statesman on the line. So the question is going to be, how can he help the younger guys? How can he help Andrew Thomas when he needs to continue to learn his own maturation and help himself? And then you look at Spencer Pulley, Kevin Zeidler. I laugh because ESPN has Matt Pert as a starting right tackle. I hope not. I hope to God that that's just a misprint. I hope to God Nick Gates, Cam Fleming, Shane Lemieux. I don't think Matt's going to be ready to really hold down the. Maybe in a year or two, he can he can really hold down that position. But I'm not seeing it. I really don't see it. At least not right now. He could surprise. Like I said, the tough thing right now is we can't see these guys, do anything because of the fact you're in shorts and a helmet. Even in pads, we're gonna have only 14 practices to see what these guys can do. But my thing is right now, we have to make sure that Will Hernandez takes care of Andrew Thomas. It should be big brother, little brother. Teach him to be a professional. Teach him what he needs to learn in the meeting rooms. But you know what the problem is with that still is Will Hernandez is still learning at the same time. And like I said, I think Will Hernandez can still be a good pro. I think he could be more than a solid left guard. But like I said, I'm not 100% sold on him yet because I want to see how he plays going into year 3. Because like I said, there was a big drop-off in play in year 2. No one can deny that with Will Hernandez. But like I said, I think Andrew Thomas is going to be the real deal. I don't think we need to worry about his intestinal fortitude. I don't think him playing alongside Will Hernandez in a patchwork line right now is going to be detrimental to his psyche. I think he's going to be fine. And like I said, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. If you want, drop us a line at onlineBigBlue@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at OnlineBigBlue1 on Twitter. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you could subscribe, if you could ring that bell, you know what that means? That would be awesome.